What's good, people? I told you I'd be back in 10, so here we are. It's a little more than 10 minutes, but yeah. As usual, I'll give this like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, see who shows up, and we'll dig in a little farther to whatever y'all want to talk about. So for anybody that is coming to this in the future, you probably can wait 5 minutes before I start saying anything of any value. Oh, look at that. What up, Manny Farm? What up, Tiger Strong? Brad Milligan. Oh, what up, Jordan Weiland? Yes, the wizard. Off to be the wizard. Is that what they say? What's up, Sono Logos? Whoever needs a little wizarding, I guess. I got this new I don't know, what would you call it, the Harry Potter the stick, the wizard stick, what do you call those things? The holly tree, the holy tree, the holy wood. What do they call them? The wand, I guess, is that. I thought there might be something a little more magical than the wand. But yeah, I got a new wand, but I'm giving it away as a gift, so I'll probably bring it out here and show you all the next video that I make here, because I think I'm gonna do like, I'm gonna split these up into like an hour or 2 hour things, and like I said, I have to go grab my telephone and go through all of the notes that I have on there. I have like 100 different notes from basically one little note that is for an hour show, and I'm gonna kind of dip through there and you know, see what we can unravel and unveil through these little, the wand, the want. Interesting, Tao. I like that. The want. The wand is it's very interesting what tree it comes from and why they would choose to use the holy tree, the holly tree, and what that has to do with holly berry and Christmas. And I wonder if there's any sort of special electromagnetic energy from that specific type of tree, because all trees have a different architecture, obviously. And there's somebody that did a whole series on different kind of trees, and his name is Magus. Oh man, I'll find it. I'll find him soon. And he does stuff on the Irish origins of magic. It's not anybody very popular. You probably all wouldn't know who he was. Somebody that I follow a little bit. Rother Magus. R-O-T-H-I-I-E-R, I believe. M-A-G-U-S. The Magus. And he does some really interesting stuff. He's pretty powerful. He's done some cool things. But his channel's pretty small. I don't even know how many, like maybe a couple hundred subs, but he does a whole series on the different kinds of trees and the powers behind them, and I did not see the one on the holy tree. So if anybody knows why. What's up, Torin? The Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of the OZ, I think is interesting. The Wizard of the Oz, the OZ meaning gold, and Oz meaning like the ooze and the Oz, and you say and the Wizard of the gold mining, the mental mine, so they say like the gold mine or the gold mined to mine something is to mine something. To dig down and find treasure. The treasure trove in the vaults of knowledge. Reza, I don't know who Jeffrey Doherty is. Cool, I'll look into him though. As always, Reza, hit me on one of my other videos, just hit me on one of my other videos with his name, because this disappears from me. TikTok, is New Orleans my favorite place? I don't think there's another place on earth to live, really. I mean, I'm sure there are many places in other countries, but as far as in the North American area, I've been a lot of places, and I don't really. There's a huge number of reasons that this place is not only in this country but this whole realm one of the most special places, if not the soul of the world. When you look at where it is on the map, it meets at 30 degrees by 90 degrees, 30 by 90. And when you get into the unfoldment and the architecture, like a flower of life from where it is, there's a lot of interesting things using the golden mean, and just the sense of the connection to all of the different magic and the types of people live here, how interesting the city is. A lot of people say it's not even in the US, that it's part of the Northern Caribbean. And so like hoodoo culture and how much music is down here, and art, and and it's also the architecture and the buildings and the types of trees. Like I could walk down the street and see like an old oak tree next to a palm tree. It's very interesting. There's a lot of juxtapositions. TikTok, I think names are extremely significant in the sense that they contain within them the vibrations of power of whatever it is. In the beginning, you name something. What is the first thing that when you read in the Bible, what does he say? Oh, go out and name things, because the power over anything is to name something. So if something has a name, N-A-M-E is an amen, amen. So you say, it shall be done, amen. And to name something is to, interestingly enough, there you go. The alphabet versus the goddess. The conflict between word and image. Word and image. So, in the larger scheme of things, names mean nothing. All it matters is imagination and feeling about it, and that's how you create. But in the way that we need to do it and slow it down time frame, that it's interesting that you asked, the conflict between naming something and what it is as an image, as the real thing, there's a big conflict, but we can hope to kind of consolidate and describe something. Like I can look over here and say that's a truck, and to you, do you know what truck that is, what it looks like? So how much information in detail would I have to explain to you with word for you to draw exactly what I'm looking at? It would be as close to as impossible as you could get. You could never draw what I'm looking at right now without actually seeing what I'm looking at. I could tell you how many bolts are on, how big the tires are, I could tell you the distance, I could tell you all about it, but you could really never draw it out what I'm looking at. It would be very, very difficult to do. So there is a big difference between that. But when we do have someone's name, a name embodies or signifies a certain type of energy. And so when we go to name something, we're saying that seems to be the essence of what is. In the beginning, you would say om or ah, or the baby would say dot, like that, like dad. You're pointing at something. It's a that. It's a directive. So these forms that we look at have a primordial essence to what they are, and we try to use language to kind of point to it and say, hey, that's what that is, because each letter has its own value. Each letter and each sound, so each sound becomes the letter that we're looking at. So the word speaking it is different than the word on a page, completely different. but we still use that as a two-dimensional thing to try to say, hey, speaking this forth, these certain letters have this value, and these certain values then can kind of encompass to you. When I say the word wheel, you'll know what I'm talking about. And what does that essentially mean? What does it essentially mean to say car? What does it essentially describe to you? It's something that has wheels on it that goes down the street and gets you from point A to B. So what the letter C, the letter A, and the letter R do, if you know the underpinnings of the language, and what the sound of K means, the sound of R means, if you understand those things, then we get back to primordially in that soup that the shamans were making and creating universes by speaking words that then took shape. They were using sound to create shape. And so we're many steps removed from that now, but we still find a way to attempt to make an alphabet. The goddess is the thing that we're dealing with, the material world, but the alphabet is masculine. The masculine alphabet attempts to describe the thing that's undescribable. Tell somebody about your first sexual experience. Oh, it sounds wonderful. Until you've done it, you don't know. So there's a big the image and the feminine and the feeling and the world as it is much different than the word, but it still attempts. And Sono Logos, no, I didn't craft it myself. A friend of mine who is an artist was down at her little her art showing exhibit, and I went by and purchased one. She doesn't know anything really about magic. She's just an artist, but she has a certain level of understanding, but not really. And I was like, oh, you're making magic wands, and she didn't really know to the degree of which. I was like, we will do something about this. Yeah, Reza, again, yeah, hit me with this website on one of my other videos. Yeah, when we get Electric Tie, I love that you use the word wand and want. What we need to do is somehow recraft that word to mean what it actually means, along the lines of abracadabra, along the lines of desire, what the word desire is. Because when we say want, wanting and desiring to most people means fundamentally the same thing, but in the way that the language works, want means won't. Means you will not have. You cannot have, because you won't it. But you want this, but you can't have it. You know that somebody playing with you when you're a kid, you want this, you can't have it. So if we change the language to mean what it actually is, to desire something doesn't, oh, you can have what you desire, because it's completely different. Because the word desire is the word D, which is half of the sun, and then sire, or sir. Sir is in serpent, is in energy. So half of the energy, so you're just exclaiming what it is that you require or desire. And so the universe will provide that for you. But you say you want something, you can't have it, see? So the wand should be called something along the lines of what would it really mean if I had the wand in my hand I would say that is my streetcar named Desire, right? It's a New Orleans classic. I've never even seen it, but the name of, getting back to the importance of naming things, what would it be called? What could you rename the wand to something that's more powerful? Because a wand is not powerful. Which I think kind of gets to the larger perspective, which is Dumbo with his feather. And he said, Dumbo, don't you know the feather's not making you fly, Dumbo? That's ridiculous. It's you that's doing it, Dumbo. The big elephant that's thinking this tiny little feather is going to make him fly, like thinking this wand is doing it. This wand won't do anything for you, but it can. It really does. It's the same way crystals are pointless, but they're not. It's coming from you, but if you have a crystal and you know that it has a certain frequency and amplifying factor, well, we can use these tools to do something, just like a wand. If we know what species of tree it comes from, what's the lineage, what is connected to, is this going to be better to help me move certain objects and things? Then certainly. But I think renaming it might be a better idea. Kia, random question, water fast. Hey, do whatever fast. The rules are there are no rules, and we can start it. I was gonna start it on the 1st, so I'm just gonna wake up on the 1st and whatever day that is. And then and you can fast on whatever you want. And in fact, I was speaking yesterday about if you want to just do like a different type of fast, I can walk you through how to do that, or help you along with whatever kind of ideas of a fast that you want to do. If you want to fast from using a computer, I don't know. I can't really help you with it then, but if you want to do a music fast, if you wanted to do, but specifically the easiest ones would be do some kind of liquid fast, and we could talk about how to do that. So as always, you can jump in here with questions if you have. The whole lie of wood. The whole lie of wood. Wood is rough. Sona Logos, I like it, but I don't know, like, the whole lie. To say holy, something is holy would not be a whole lie, but would be the whole thing. I think people get a little carried away with everything being a lie. Saying to believe is to be the lie of Eve, I think is a little, you're not given the whole story, because to believe or to have faith, it's similar concept in something to come to pass. To say I believe this will come to me, there's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, it's encouraged. That's what the world is made out of, a bunch of people believing in things to be such, and then receiving the things that they have beliefs. So to be a leaf would be what? To be the lie of F, or to be the leaf of the tree. I mean, what the whole world is myth, right? Or everything is facts. Pick one. Everything is a lie, or everything's the truth. So I think to take one stance on, oh, the holy wood is the whole lie of the wood. Like, was the wood lying? It's a crystal anyways. It's a tree anyways. Is it lying? Is any of it? What is the truth? Oh, the truth is you can have anything you want. Mint is mind. Yeah, money does not really work into that too well, but ment, mind, and mind, ment, and mint are the, yeah. Kia, there are funny enough, there is a beach. There's a beach there's a giant lake a little north of here, and then there's a bunch of beaches within 2 hours of here, going into Georgia and out to Florida. If you go out to Florida, you can find some of the cleanest, whitest beaches that within like 5 hours you get to some of the best beaches in the world. But there are plenty of rooftop pools, and there's definitely the Mississippi River, and there's water running through here, and lots of bodies of water around here. In fact, there's probably some sharks in the lake because of it goes out into the sea, and some levees were broke, and blah blah blah. So there's definitely some north of here. Within an hour, there's beaches. A lake beach is much different than an ocean beach, but Tiger Strong, that's awesome. Yeah. Right. What does Errrybody Badu say? It says, you have dreams and imagination, put them on paper and watch what happens. Yeah, Kia, Florida in and of itself is to live there. There's only a couple places in Florida that would be suitable for living. One is a place called Sarasota, which is next to a crystal beach. And it's called I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. It's somewhere I'm going to go visit actually pretty soon, but it's one of the greatest places. But Florida as a whole isn't really, I wouldn't live there. I mean, the whole of the state is pretty, it's cool to visit. It's a nice little trip, but I guess for me, most of Florida would be way too white and way too old people and white people. Not good stuff. Yeah, Eli, come down to New Orleans, yo. It's the most magical place. We out in here in December, and I'm in shorts. What up, Electric Tower? Holy Trig, what's that? Trigonometry? Army guy told you that. Well, that would be if you're using. No, Kia means. Think of why a car is named Kia. There's something very powerful about that. I'm sure you even know. I mean, have you looked into what the word Kia means? And you know how I used to sign off on. Well, no, actually, you probably don't. I would sign off Kaizen, because Zen and Kai means good change. So, Kia Kaya means good, or God, or goodness. You were Aldrin was named out. Yeah, well, named after an astronaut. Well, so you can actually make the name good now. What up, Tesh? And Jordan Weiland. So your name is Christian Tobek. Numerology has some significance. Again, I've always explained it this way. Whenever you do the gematria of things, you're only reaffirming something. It doesn't. You can't simplifying things down to numbers and giving numerological values and bases is good. You can see reflections and ideas, but it's not as descriptive as words. So the numbers are. I only use numerology and gematria to double check things to see. Oh, was I clued in my idea about the etymology of this word, the truthiness of this word? Was it correct? Was I on the right line? And if numerically it comes out to be similar, I'm gonna go, okay, I'm on the right track. If it's wrong, then I'll go, oh, maybe I should check my work. Yeah, Dane Christian Tobek is a very powerful sounding name. I don't know. I couldn't decode that off the top of my head. I would have to do a little bit of digging, but yeah, Electric Tau. Watch the movie that I was talking about before, called The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. And one of the lines in the movie is the beginning. He says, "The world is about vibrations and storytelling." And the devil comes through and makes everyone silent. And he says, "See, everything still exists." The vibration doesn't make the universe. The universe is a completely empty, lifeless non-existence. It's a no thing at all. The things that we observe and we participate in, which make up I would say the second degree of the universe, the first degree being complete silence, emptiness, and nothingness, then in the beginning there was the word or the vibration that created against that backdrop of nothingness. So, yeah. But, and that thus it becomes a reality. To do it again, because as you speak something, it takes time, whatever we call time, as that thing moves through space, the echoes of the consciousness, the echoes of the ideas through time and space. Oh, TikTok, 11/11, that's crazy. That's interesting. The 1111s, huh? Samuel D. Blackburn. Are you saying I'm a master number? Thank you if that's what you're saying. My name is it's definitely added up to a few pretty interesting numbers. My first whenever you add up your life path number, it's 9 for me. But getting back to this, one of the first videos I made is about, like, well, do you not like that? Change it. Go ahead, write your script, rewrite it. What do you want it to be? What do you want your life path number to be? You don't like it? Do something else. Change it. Change your name, change the numbers, change the whole thing. It's up to you to reprogram it. Tiger Strong, how can you cure OCD? There's nothing to cure. Realize that it's not a problem and it will go away. What do you mean? I'm obsessively, compulsively, call it something different. Call it OCO. Obsessive compulsive order. There's no disorder. If you're obsessively compulsive, you'll end up putting things in so much order that how do they call it disorder? God must have had OCD in that sense. You want to order the universe? You want to take all of the chaos and turn it into order? What are you, obsessive? What are you, compulsive? What are you just going to go ahead and clean up? How dare you clean up? Don't identify with it as a dilemma and it will find its way not to be a dilemma. I did come back. Sorry, Rising Love. I took a little longer. I got in a conversation with, funny enough, somebody that was very OCD. Somebody that she designed the wand, but she's OCD. She started asking me something, and she was like, very, yeah. She has her ways of being, like, everything is lined up in a way. Everything is lined up in a way, like, she'll put things in her cupboards, so all of the labels are facing the same direction, and everything is like, and she was saying, well, I know this is probably more extreme than most people have. I was like, yeah, whenever I'm living by myself, things have quite a bit of order, but other times, like, yeah, that can be a little, if it bothers you to a degree that things are out of order, that it will make you feel awkward, then that's a dilemma. That's something you would work on. But, you know, just putting things in order is not a problem at all. Everything has a place, and every place has a thing, right? Isn't that the idea? So you just learn to put things in what you would call its proper place. Things that fit together seem to fit together. Things that do not, do not. Zach Chrono, you got anger for them Scorpios, huh? Chrono, which one are you again? Which sign do you identify with completely? Come find out. I bet you got you got probably a Scorpio moon or something. You probably you hate the opposite version of yourself, the dark evening version, huh? Oh, Tiger Strong and Zet about this battle. You all should have a fight. Do it. There's a... Oh, there we go. Electric Towel, I dig it. Yeah. There are no rules. You are the rules and the ruler of reality. There are no laws. You are the light and you are the way. This is true. There seems to be a degree of, like, there's some sort of place that we live that has one kind of law, but even that is moldable. We were talking about that yesterday. But yeah. And the word rule comes out of like a ruler or a standard. To standardize something is always arbitrary. It's always arbitrary. You think something's a foot? Well, what if I don't measure that same way? How far is a foot? Depends on your language. Depends on how much time does something take? Depends on your definition of what time is. Oh, there it is. Got a little itchy there. Huh? Pisces is the ultimate sign because the last sign that's making it the strongest. Is that Chrono? That's ridiculous. You know damn well the Gemini is the strongest sign. Two things standing there like the pillars. Like the pillars of all things. The highest, this sign that has been exalted by the sun. What up, Flo? TikTok. How far south do you live? Do you live like south side of Chicago? I mean, like how far south? Like outside the city, though, huh? Like I just reread that what you wrote there. An hour south. Okay. My buddy just went back up to the south side of Chicago. He's from the grime. Rastafu, where I've been in Florida is like the majority of the place. Like you could just cut it off the map. Like it kind of just sticks out there anyways. Like chopping that off, we wouldn't be losing much here. I mean, where I've been, I've been through Miami, I've been through Fort Lauderdale, I've been through all of the northeastern coast. I didn't prefer it. I didn't like it. It was, yeah, take it or leave it. Tiger Strong, God and the devil both exist. So does Pan, so do I, so do you, so does that truck, so does this tree. Anything exists only in the mind, right? So it can. God and the devil are the same thing, huh? Just depends on who you're asking. Stephen Co, that's wicked, man. Awesome. Sin K. I dig it. Sin K. Or Sign K. Steve Co, let me jump in there. You need to cool it down to 0 to get it revitalized or freeze it? That's not true. That's ridiculous. Why would that make any sense? You have distilled water, which means die. It means to split. To still, to split stillness. Distilled water means not... something that's stilled or put in a pot to still, it means it's not moving. Thus, 0 degrees Celsius is not moving. You'd be killing the water to make it still. Distilled water is already what it needs to be. Cooling it down is a good idea, but again, you're going to put it in a refrigerator. The sound that the refrigerator is producing is unhealthy. You shouldn't be putting it in the refrigerator. My water goes on my counter. I don't put it back in the refrigerator. No way. You'd be loading that frequency, and which is a very unhealthy one that's actually generated by the refrigerator into the water, and to actually freeze it. I mean, I've talked about this many times about water freezing. Like, ice is not natural. Now, hear me out here again. I've said this before. It's not natural if you lived at the equator, if you lived near the Tropic of Cancer or Capricorn, or where humans should be living. There's no ice. It doesn't exist. It's a non-thing. Just like fire doesn't exist. Ice doesn't exist. You have to go somewhere away. So if you want to make fire, you can naturally make fire, right? This is the difference here. You can naturally just rub some sticks together and make yourself a fire. There's a natural occurrence. But for you to make ice, you have to go through and use man-made technology to extract and to extrapolate. You have to use a level of very high level of technology, which is an extraction device, which is why you get the word ice or Isis, which is the word money or moon, and the moon, which is Isisian, or Isis is the moon, is actually an extracting agency. You don't want to freeze your water. You don't want to make it ice. It doesn't make any sense. It's no. Just no. You want to go ahead and play it some lovely music. You can go ahead and sing to it. You can shoot some beautiful strobe lights into it. You wouldn't want to put it in the refrigerator, and you definitely won't want to freeze it. Tell him to come on with my shows. I give him an education. What up, Damien? Good to see you, man. Tiger Strong, I hear you, man. But do you take any substances, pharmaceuticals, because of it, or did somebody tell you you're OCD? So that therefore, just like a name, somebody labeled you as OCD, so you became more obsessed about the fact that somebody called you obsessed. You know, it's like when you're a little upset and someone's like, "Calm down." If someone telling you to calm down is the last thing you're going to do, it's actually going to piss you off more. If someone says, "No, you're being like the way that you're not," someone's like, "You're obsessed. You're obsessed." You're like, "No, I'm fucking not." And you get upset about it, right? And you get obsessed about the idea. The idea of labeling somebody with that is beyond fucking ridiculous. And if you have it to any degree, it's only because of your diet and where you live. Anybody that lives in a major city has probably got quite a deal of OCD. It's environmentally driven and environmentally and then dietarily driven. You don't just come out with these. Humans don't naturally have these obscene habits. They're built into the environment, which is thus back to my favorite quote by Krishnamurti, which is that I like to rephrase it sometimes, but you can't expect somebody to be healthy to any degree living in a very, very unhealthy environment. So he says it's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And the society at large is essentially the environment. And if you can somehow be a staple of health, it will affect the environment. But most people are not staples of health, therefore they can't affect the environment. And the environment, therefore, plays all of those frequencies and harmonics into the people of their environment, and it overwhelms them and makes them rats in a cage. It makes them obsessive. It makes them compulsive. It makes them, do all of the things that a normal, natural, organic, farm-raised human would look like. So, especially these things of OCD and shit. This is not true. Watch somebody that's painting. Watch somebody that. You tell me the person that's painting something doesn't have OCD. They do. They're just doing something different. Their obsessive and compulsion gives you Michelangelo. It gives you the Vitruvian Man. It gives you something that is so perfectly presented and ordered that OCD was the creative potential of something so focused, like lasers, into doing something, that most people's OCD becomes into mundane, absurd, bizarre, ridiculous habits that have no purpose, no serving of the human or anybody else. You change that OCD into something, you become a professional. You could be making $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year tomorrow using your OCD to be doing something creative. Make something. Use that OCD to a point of doing something so bizarre. Like take some rice, build rice castles. I don't know. Learn how to paint. Learn how to be the best free throw shooter ever. Go stand and shoot 1,000 free throws. You know what I mean? Like there could be 1,000. There could be a billion different things you could do with your OCD. Yeah. TikTok. I'm gonna let this rumbly rumble. TikTok, that's interesting. Somebody the other day said something to me about Pluto, and the word Yaza is interesting. I can't really comment any further on it, I don't know. There is right in here, though, a Ouija board. I might have him crack it out. We could play a game. Flo Bartholomew. Can you all hear me still? I'd assume so. Flo, Sagittarius, I don't... You know, I've always said this, as much as I should know more about this, I just haven't researched it and studied it. I don't have it as like a manifold in my brain about all of the signs. I just haven't done it. I will, though, out of nowhere, confusingly enough, choose and pick people's birthdays and signs as if I knew them, but I don't. It's like some sort of what do they call it? The Rain Man. Rain Man, who is like a high functioning autistic savant. I've always said everyone's on the spectrum. Whatever that means. Being autistic means you're human. That's about it. The only people that aren't on the spectrum are people that are dehumanized to the point they're not human and they're not autistic, and they completely suck. You probably, like those people that suck at parties, they've been dehumanized. So anyways, that off of that Sagittarius, I wish I could tell you more. I do know that the longest relationship I've ever had in my life is still with the Sagittarius, but she's a cusp, so it makes her Sagittarius Scorpio cusp, which makes her cusp people are more insane than Geminis. Let's put it that way. A cusp that is both fire and water ends up putting her fire out all the time, and actually has a very much same qualities as a Gemini would. Cusps always do, because they can't figure out which one are they. Although somebody did a video the other day saying there's no such thing as cusps, but nah, they don't work that way. They definitely are. Yeah, Gemini is the quintessential being. Look up Gemini, the quintessential being. It's the gem in Tiger Strong. You keep talking all this nonsense, you Scorpion. I know about you Scorpios. Oh, but you're a dude. I don't know any dude Scorpios. I've been zapped by a few female Scorpios though. That's for sure. Jake Dyer, you said there's a water bottle that's called the Flask that changes the structure of water to the structure of spring water. That's I would love to see it. It sounds impossible because I don't know that spring water has one structure, and in fact it can't have one structure because spring water is all going to have a certain degree of mineral quality to it, which is going to obviously affect the shape and structure of the water. If you mean vortex and energy that the water will have via like Victor Schauberger's work, then yeah, I could see how that could happen, but that's interesting. Hit me up with the link to that on one of my other videos, man. I'd love to look into it. Ooh, yes, Damien. Yeah, your water dispenser next to the fridge. I would move it because the vibration is definitely going to be. It's going to be. You can hear it off of there, and there's a certain resonance to what's going on in that box that's fucking up the food and everything that's going on in there, and anything coming off it's definitely going to have an effect. You could probably even see what happened if you took food and put it next to the refrigerator and then move food somewhere else and see what happens. You know, take something, you know, a couple, you know, maybe not an apple, something's going to rot a little faster. Let's see what happens. A little personal experiment, but certainly the refrigerator is one of the most I don't want to say poisonous, but like spatially in the frequency and what it does, how big of a thing it is, and what it is. We're getting into all this again, that it's an unnatural thing. Why would we ever freeze food? Why would we ever freeze or make something cold? Why would we want something to last longer? Why wouldn't we want it to live its life the way it would? Looking at any other ancient culture, looking at any culture, and they don't have those things because there's no purpose of them. They would put things into ferments and make something fermented. They wouldn't stop life from happening. They'd actually make life exist even more. So look at a fermented food, a sauerkraut. It's living and almost becomes immortal. You take cabbage that will rot and go bad, but if you put it into a jar and you cause it to become its second life, you take cabbage and you turn it into sauerkraut, and that sauerkraut is now living. It's more nutritious, more healthy, and it will last longer than if you were to take that cabbage and put it in a refrigerator. So what is the use of a refrigerator? It's stopping life. It's one of the, ice is one of the worst things ever. Not only for, and for healing as well. There's a great book called something about getting out of the ice age. And TsarXen, who wrote the book, he wrote a couple books, and he's one of the greatest physical therapists out there right now, one of the biggest ones out there. I mean, he does a lot of stuff with CrossFit and whatever, so he's got his angle on it, but he's highly, highly well-versed, highly strong dude, intelligent, wise guy. But he got together with a dude that wrote a book on ice and how ice should never be used on injuries. And the dude like really broke down like, why do you think they always tell you put ice on your injuries? Because that way you have to go to the hospital. Like you have to go back to the doctor. It's not healing you, it's not helping you. Herbs help you. Heat will help you. Ice does not. Ice should only be used in a very, very small number of ways and times. And that's basically for immediate relief of pain. But it's not helping with the healing process, nor is it helping with the living process. Stephen Coe, I'm gonna start with 5 days, but I might, you know, my life and attitude changes. Like I said, I'm gonna do it based upon my environment, what's going on outside. If the weather's good, if you know, sometimes people would just like contact me and like want to come down and hang out or whatever, so I might end up doing something different. But 5 days, probably will be longer, and it'll probably be urine. I'm gonna try not to have any alcohol, but I'll probably end up having a beer. You know, it's just part of what I do, but we'll see. For everybody else, I mean, if it would encourage somebody else that really wants to do a water fast, for me to do a urine and water fast, like if that would help someone, I would do that. But nobody's really said, Zen, you got to do what I'm doing, exactly the way I'm doing it, help me do it. Like if you were standing here next to me and it was me and encouraging somebody, I could do it, but I just, you know, we'll see when I get into it. All right, Electric Towel. What up, Lumeno? I like the new name, man. Your parents argue near your water distiller? Hey, yeah, it would. And what you should do, maybe, if you were smart, write something happy on that water distiller so that when they're near it, they'll look at it and remember. And maybe tell them a little story like, hey, you know, water has a memory. You're full of water. You're 70% water. If you guys want to argue, could you maybe just not do it around the water, or put a little sign on there like happy area? And maybe you'll encourage them to like reframe their mind when they come in to the area of where the water is, that they'll even maybe think about not arguing with each other. Put a big happy sign on it, put a big smiley face on it. Not only will you be encouraging the water because the water is a living thing, but you'd maybe encourage them. I don't know. Electric Towel, it's so funny, if you're still here, The Awakening will be labeled dysfunctional. I was listening to one of my favorite songs by Tech9 earlier today called Dysfunctional. It's a really great song. If y'all ain't heard it, I would highly suggest go put it on your other screen right now. Listen to it. It's awesome. The old lady was mad at her husband for drinking all that tequila, but I think he was pissed because she stinks. She smelled real bad. He's drinking tequila because she smells like a bottle of, I don't even know. I can't even think of the words right now to describe how awful she smelled. Flo Bartholomew, your first love was a Gemini. Yeah, we're very easy to love or hate, or both at the same time. We're a special breed. And then you got to mix a Gemini and with the sun god, with you know, then it gets really, that's really difficult. Oh, Jordan, I forgot you're a Sagittarius. That's right, that's right. Yeah, Sagittarius are that's very funny. The girl that I've been with, well, like my best friend is a Sagittarius, but she's also a Scorpio. But that cusp caused a little bit of a little bit of the drama, more of the Scorpio, because I did have a girl that was a Scorpio that I really, really deeply fell in love with, that we had lots of bond, but just the culture she came from, the age difference, the gap there was a dilemma. So that didn't work out too good. It was good for a while. What up, Tom Corner? Oh, dude, Lameno, yeah. Do a singing bowl near the water for sure. You're structuring it. You just got to remember when you know, it's best to put the water in the singing bowl. That's what they used to. They found a lot of these old giant crystal singing bowls with the residue of grapes. They were putting wine in giant crystal bowls that they were using as singing bowls, and they would play the music, and they would organize the wine. The wine would be turned into the same structure and shape. So imagine doing that with water, or even upgrade it to the wine. So you want everybody to be on the same level. We're gonna have okay, take your wine, put it into this bowl. Now let's get on the same level. You're literally going to be ingesting the same harmonic frequency. But it will come out. It will lose its structure after time. As it sits there, it stills itself, and it will start to lose the shape and organization of what it was. It won't hold it for too long. I think it's pretty much like 20 minutes. Oh, Jordan Weiland. I don't know the guy's name for getting out of the ice age, but you can look up a video probably. By Kelly Starrett, and look up Kelly Starrett and Out of the Ice Age, and tell him, look it up now and see if you find it, because I don't remember the guy's name, but he does an interview with them, and you'll find. And if you ever get into Kelly Starrett stuff, I'm going to do a whole series here coming really soon on a lot of Kelly Starrett's work and the kinesiology, the physiology, the body, and how this all. How we can turn our body into like superhuman feats, like how we can quickly manifest changes in the physical body. That's why we're gonna do this fast too here, so we can really cleanse and get our minds right before we do anything with the physical body. Hey, Aldrin, it's not, hey, by the way, Aldrin, your distiller is next to 2 refrigerators. It's not that bad, man. That's fine. Just whenever as you pour it out of the thing, take the cup, and so you're pouring it out of the distiller. If it's in a jar, take the cup and let it like a waterfall down and cascade into it and stir it. You can rechange the structure of the water. It's not encoded in there forever. So you can stir the water, vortex the water. You can sing to it. You can play music for it. Have music going in your house. You can do anything you want to restructure and shape the atmosphere, and then that specific, the water, when you put it into a glass container, stir it, man. Rising Love. Cold showers are awesome. Here's the thing: is like I hope nothing was lost on the part where I was saying that cold ice for healing is not a good idea. Hot and cold showers, in the sense of, think of it this way: if you go out into the natural environment and you find a waterfall, you'll find that water finds its natural temperature to be around 70, 69 degrees, and falling water in say like a forest area will be a little colder than that. Like, yeah, it's a genius idea. It's a brilliant idea. Hot and cold back and forth. Great idea, because you're doing what your lungs would be doing. You're going through the blue to the red. You're going from male to female. You're going from, you know, that back and forth. And so you're basically making your body breathe. You're making your skin breathe. You're doing all the things that would be happening naturally, but you're encouraging it with the temperature. But as a healing modality, cold is not healing by itself. Healing, using cold as in the idea of Wim Hof's methods and things like this, it's a great idea, but you know, if you have an injury, cold is not going to heal it. It will strengthen you though. So again, everything I say, remember, there's always caveats to everything. There's no hard and fast rule to anything that I'm saying. It's 95%. This is an absolute, but we're not going to deal with the 5% of the times that this doesn't work this way. Yeah, singing bowls are great. Carmen Cicerello, what's going on? This is pretty much open. Anything you want to ask, whatever you want to know, dig in. My brain, which is connected to the infinite structure of the universe, the whole overmind, you get to ask me, and I can collapse all that information from out there and then relay it to you. It's kind of like a little bit like somebody that's a channel. I just do it wildly different. It's more open access. Libras are charming and attractive. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one. Maybe charming. Yeah, Jordan Whelan, the third day, man, but once you get past that third day, and after you've gone to the third day a couple times, then you don't even, it ain't even a thing no more. Because then you've already been like, oh, then you're, what you do is you put your mind in day 4 while you're in day 2. You put your mind in day 5 while you're in day 3. And you don't even have to experience the things that you used to think are hunger pains, but are actually just thirst. Yeah, movie suggestions. Oh, I discussed this earlier. Go watch The Fountain. Just start there. Or The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. We're talking about those two today. Yeah, electric tile. The spirit is in and of the water. This is yeah, for sure. Rising love. I mean, yeah, the fast will be kind of Zen styled for me and for anybody else. Like, but it's Zen style in the sense of whatever y'all need help with to get to your next place in your fast. I don't know anime like that. Although I do have a couple, and they're on the tip of my brain, and I'll hopefully I'll find it. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, I don't have it right now. Maybe by the end of the show I'll find it. Yeah, electric tile, the freeze. Yeah, like in the movies, to still something, the film on top of water, to freeze something is to freeze something as well. That's why water frees itself from being ice, or ice becomes frozen. So it's like an interesting play on that for sure. In what, Stephen Coe, in what way would beer be beneficial? In every way. Go watch my last 2 shows yesterday. I talk about, and every other one that I've done on alcohol. Beer especially. Think about beer, what it does. If you put beer into a glass, and you saw those bubbles coming up from the bottom, what is happening there? It's eating away at all of those carbohydrates in the glass. It's those bubbles are coming from the bottom because the glass is dirty with the sugars, carbohydrates, and things. It will help clean up the body faster. Now, I would never suggest to do it in a water fast, because then it's not a water fast. If you're just fasting on juices and things, beer is essential. It's a life-giving thing, and it speeds up the process of detoxification. Jordan, are you asking me about older or younger? I'm at 4:52, so I'm 10 minutes behind. I'm gonna try to speed up here a little bit. Chiao Gregory, yeah, sun gazing is a pretty good way of obtaining power. Make sure you take your shoes off though and ground yourself out, so it doesn't zap you too much. And Jordan Whelan, Kelly start the illusionary treatment option. I never heard of that. You have to go a little deeper on that. What do you mean? Is that one of his things? Yeah, every day, Carmen, every day I'll go out on the balcony and I'll stare at the sun, and it just immediately changes the chemistry of my body. I feel completely different. The sun hits me and I just go, it does something. It's very tangible. The two movies again were Dr. Parnassus, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, and The Fountain. And what do potatoes do? They're tubers. Potatoes are called tubers, and they clean the tubes in your body. The starches are actually blood cleansers. So when if you have like the word beat, like a beat, comes from the heart beat, and they're good for the heart. They're good for blood cleansing. And potatoes are all blood cleaning things. Sweet potatoes are good for the pancreas, which are all sugar and good for like insulin and sugar regulation. So potatoes are all about cleaning the blood. What's up, Alchem? Yeah, people that have issues staying hydrated during a fast tend to be, getting rid of so much that it takes a lot of water. Whenever you're detoxing, it takes more water to take a dump. You know what I mean? And so you'll be sweating and getting rid of more. So like when most people are like, oh, I need a gallon of water a day, you might need more than that, because you're going to need to replenish more than you're getting rid of. So that way there's more to do the job, especially during the evening. You might even have to go through the process of even drinking more than you should before you go to bed, and risk, having to wake up twice in the evening, or even pissing yourself. I mean, I don't see the if you're really serious about getting clean or whatever, I think that's the way to do it. Is you gotta, if I gotta wake up a couple times during the night, one of the best times, because your body's gonna be doing so much cleansing during the evening. Being overhydrated at night is very important. The most times that I deal with, dilemmas, physical dilemmas, is usually because before I go to bed, if I've been out, I didn't drink enough water before I went to sleep, and I wake up and I'm dehydrated, and I'm dealing with the repercussions of having thick, viscous blood and all of the, what goes along with that, which is all the body ailments. So getting into using alcohol, what's happening is you're burning more off quicker. So if you were going to drink a gallon of water and you drink some alcohol, you're going to drink even more water, but you're going to be cleansing quicker. So it just becomes more liquid. It becomes a faster process of heating up the element of the whole entire body to get rid of the things in the body. And so most people, if you were to use alcohol during any kind of fast, especially a juice fast, or if you're doing urine, water, and teas and such, anything with some sugar still in it, you're going to have to be doing a lot more water too. Most people aren't replenishing enough water because of the extra cleansing properties of alcohol, which is actually breaking apart and eating away the sugars and carbohydrates and things in your body that it doesn't need, and all of the other decay and dead matter is going through and getting rid of. Is you need now even more water than you thought you needed. And you're not just making up for alcohol drying the body out, which is doing, but it's drying the body out because it's hot, and the heat is actually making you sweat. So it's just like getting in a sauna, but you're internally giving yourself a sauna. Oh yeah, and just to finish that up for you, Katesh, maybe you would consider using some oil on your skin, because oil is going to be giving you some fat and lubrication properties that will help you maintain a little bit of water inside of the body. I mean, fats are decent on the lip, but you have to watch out if you're doing a water fast of eating it, putting it on the lip to get on, like, so you know, sometimes people get chapped lips and things. You risk the chance of eating some of it, and then thus getting into your digestion system and then ruining the quality of the fast. Well, Tom Corner, I really appreciate that, man. Whenever, you know, I'm here as an empty vessel and chalice that will receive any filling of whatever liquid that's put in, any kind of liquid or currency that comes to me. It probably goes to beer anyways. You know, I'm no better than these houseless humans out here. Just gonna spend it on drugs and alcohol anyways. And this internet, so I can talk to you and tell you all this weird stuff. Well, Zach Chrono, start making yourself some sigils to get yourself some more money. Oh, the Scorpio Sagittarius. The Scorpio Sagittarius is the same age as me. The Scorpio was 14 years younger than me. 13 years younger than me. And the other one was, I think, I don't know, 16 years younger than me, maybe. But was she? No, she wasn't a Scorpio though. The other one, man, the one that was older than me was when I was younger. I don't remember. I think she was a Scorpio too. So I've had a lot of Scorpio influx into my life. What up, Jessica? There we go, Jordan Ice, the book by Gary Rennie, forward by Dr. Kelly Starrett. Oh yeah, the Uberman, the Diaxyman, and Everyman, Aldrin, Polyphasic via the Bucky Fuller, my dude. I think it's great. I don't think it's for everybody. I think you need to be as much of a lunatic and as much of an insane person and literally outside of your mind to do that, because whenever I've watched him talk, what I've noticed is that he'll close his eyes and looking like up into his head. That it seems to me that because he was on polyphasic sleeping, what he was doing is he was in so much theta, he was living his life basically in somewhat of a dream world, that he was in a theta realm and his sleeping would only be in delta realms, so he could go into body healing. So that mechanism for sleeping 15 minutes and then having 2 hours up and then 15 minutes of sleep will put you into delta, and then you'll be into theta, so you'll be walking around basically hallucinating a dream world. And most people can't handle that. Most people wouldn't be able to handle that, because think of it, you can't handle your dream world as it is. Most people can't handle this world as it is. So getting to that place, I think it would take, you'd have to go through some things, like you'd have to be clean enough, like cleansed enough. You'd have to be aware of what you want out of life to a degree. You'd have to do it, you know, and it's a struggle to do. You know, you'd have to understand what sleeping is. You'd have to get into, you know, eating habits have to change. The type of people you hang out with changes. What you're doing with your time changes. So you need a lot of more thought going into it than going, well, I'm just going to do polyphasic sleep because I think it will add something. No, polyphasic is a solution to doing something. If you have an idea that you want to accomplish, polyphasic or Diaxium or Uberman sleep cycle is what you would do to access that goal. It wouldn't be it would be like get in the car and go find it, because you'd end up not knowing what you were doing with that sleep cycle. That's about how to put it, because you're dealing with being in the theta realms, and most people, they live this life in the alpha beta realms and they're already at an anxious level, that if you all of a sudden put them in theta, that's going to be really confusing and weird to people, that all of a sudden they're in a brainwave state that is actually causing that maybe their third eye is actually cracking open and popping, like these ideas of, you know, look into even like a not only Bucky Fuller but Tesla. Does anybody know what his sleep cycles were? I would bet they were probably something like that, because he was downloading straight out of the cosmos. He was downloading information, was on a different system of brainwaves. It's not that you couldn't accomplish this. When you start fasting anyways, and you start doing urine therapy and things, you're going to be on a different sleep cycle anyways, and you'll find yourself already putting yourself into a theta realm. And I've talked about this before on why I would ground myself out and eat, because being awake and aware all the time, you need to have a lot more control over your thought processes, because manifestations happen a lot faster. What's that chrono, man? Just get on that you know, get on the urine, man. Get on the orin. You know, anybody that's done it, it will have massive positive effects on your life. You know, to really get into that. It makes things cheaper, gives you more free time, makes you more creative, gives you more energy. Tom Corner. Cool, man. You're gonna start making videos. Wicked, man. You know, I mean, for me, you know, the lies we know, I'm well past that. I don't really care anymore. The whole world is a lie. The whole world is a myth. I'm only interested really at this point in how we construct and create reality. I'm on the Bucky Fuller team of I seem to be a verb, and everything I do is creating new realities. The only thing that we can do is, if there is a problem, we don't solve the problem. The problem is out there. We don't solve that problem. We create a system that then makes that old system obsolete. If there's a bunch of lies and bullshit, yeah, what else are we going to do? We're going to sit here and talk about that shit all day. Now, if you need to be there, and that's where you are in your stage of development and everything, that's wicked. That's cool, man. Have fun finding those people along your journey. I did, you know, just for me, where I am, I went through 10 years of that, and it's a struggle. That's the part where everybody talks about when you wake up to what's going on here and all the lies. Yeah, that shit is fucking, that's a compressing, depressive, like, absurd thing when you go, holy shit, this whole fucking thing is, this shit is fucked from the beginning. But then you go, oh, wait, okay, what do I have control over? Okay, here I am, what can I create? Let's create. I'm not here to create solutions. I don't give a fuck about solutions, because because a solution means somebody else gave me a problem. I go into a classroom and the math teacher tells me, here's a problem, solve it. Fuck your problem. I'm not giving you solutions to your problem. Let's come over here and just build something. See that? You go to art class, you just build something. There wasn't any problem to solve. You go make some music, ain't no problem. You're just creating. The rest of the school world, the rest of the world is out here making problems for you to solve. And everybody's out here going, look at all of these problems. Look at what they're doing. Half of them are false, half of them are fake, half of them ain't even really going on, and the rest of them are fake problems anyways. The solution that people find for the problems that we have, you know what people say, the solution to the dirty water is to get a distiller. No, the fuck it isn't. The solution to the dirty water is to stop poisoning it, right? But we're under that. That's where we all live. So what I say is just step away from the whole fucking thing. Drink your piss. I don't care about your distiller. I don't care. Yeah, of course, we're going to use the distiller, and yeah, let's you know, we're in here together functioning within this matrix, in this universe, in this whatever it is, so we can do our best as we can to help each other with whatever dilemmas and problems that are going on in the world and life. But again, just create new universes, create new things. The old systems become then obsolete. Tiger Strong, you fucking hate your life. Well, I hate it too. Get rid of it. Change it. Start a new one. Starting now. Do it. Flo Bartholomew. Alchem makes kombucha, I think. Didn't Alchem say he makes kombucha? Somebody on here yesterday said they make kombucha. It's pretty easy to make, especially if you can get yourself a starter. Get yourself a starter from, get yourself a SCOBY. You can probably look onto like Craigslist. Look for a SCOBY on Craigslist, and if you can't, just buy a store-bought thing. Simple thing to do. You're just going to use the tea that was already made with the living culture in there. Go ahead and make your favorite tea. Put some sugar in there. Put that thing in there. Put the top on with the put the cheesecloth on it. Let it go. Let it build. It really ain't much to it. Making kombucha is as simple as making beer. Two of the most simple things you can do. It's patiently leave it alone. You just put the things together, simple things, sugar, tea, and the SCOBY. The SCOBY is essentially the same thing as the bacteria that will be making your beer, just in a different way. One makes vinegar, one makes beer. In fact, the kombucha makes a vinegar beer, which is interesting because it's using a living mushroom rather than using the things to eat away the. It's a similar process though. So yeah. Anyways. Well, Zach Croner, you made some cash sigils. What are you waiting on? Remember, if you made them, it surely will come. It doesn't come on your timeline because you don't know. You can't be waiting on something when time doesn't exist. Whatever it is that you requested is sitting somewhere. You just don't know where it is. But just know that it will come to you. But if you made that sigil with doubt in your mind, you probably won't get it. You see? That's the biggest thing about magic. The biggest thing about all this, you have to make yourself very small little things that you can see actually happening and coming true that probably would happen anyways. You start there. You start with things within your reason of the capacity of your mind that actually will happen. You start there, and then you go to the next one, which is something a little bit outside. Well, I don't really expect that, but you know what? I think I can get that. That's going to happen. Absolutely, I believe it. It's done. And also Jordan Whelan chapstick, you can throw that in the garbage. You know, anything with Vaseline is made from gasoline. It's drying your lips out. So the only oils you want to use are natural, like coconut oil and whatever. You don't want to use Vaseline. It's awful. Critical depth. Does it snow here? I've never seen it snow here. I don't think it has. It doesn't really get that cold. It'll probably get down to, it might get down to 50, maybe. Sound corner, that's hilarious. That's excellent, man. So you go. You don't really need a lot. Like I don't even like a big place. I like a small. You say you live in a shed and it's the best time. I like a small space. I don't need a lot. All I require is a roof over my head and a comfy bed. You know what I mean? Like I mean, if there's another space to create something in, that's cool. Like if I have an art space or whatever. But even at that, like, comfort for me is like I'd rather be sleeping under the stars anyways. But that takes a little bit, you know. It takes a little bit of effort to get to that. Yeah, there you go. Grow the ginger and turmeric. Hey, Doug Cheadle. My live stream spots are noisy. Not usually. Funny enough, this is the first time I've seen you and first time it's gotten noisy here. It's usually pretty quiet. And how do I not get distracted? Because, well, if it has been, it's because I've been focused on y'all, whatever everybody here requires. So I kind of just, I'm in this little space in this computer screen here. But it's usually pretty quiet, man. This is the first time it's really been loud. Yeah, Tom Corner, cayenne pepper is really good stuff. Cayenne pepper inside, on top, on cuts, even in the eyes is a good idea. It helps bring blood to the surface, clean up the eyeballs, give you better vision. Zach Chrono, this thing about you don't think it's clean enough, if you have that in your mind, that's the biggest problem you have. If it's not clean enough, then why isn't it? Why isn't it? It's because you're eating things that are dirty. No matter what you're doing, your piss is cleaner than anything else you're putting in your body. Let's start there. Let me say that one more time. If you think your piss is dirty, no matter what your piss level of dirtiness of your piss you think it is, because it's not dirty, it's sterile, and it has all of your medicine in it, as dirty as you think that is, it's the cleanest thing that you'd be putting in your mouth. It's cleaner than the fork you're putting in your mouth, it's cleaner than the burger you put in your mouth, cleaner than the bun, cleaner than the pasta, cleaner than the apple you're putting in your mouth. Guarantee it. Because the apple's probably sprayed with some beef wax and probably got some GMO garbage in it. Your piss is going to be cleaner, guaranteed. So it's going to be everybody that waits, oh, I'm going to wait until it's cleaner, then you don't really want to do it. You're just finding an excuse not to drink your piss. That's about the size of it. The idea is that no matter how dirty and filthy and disgusting you are, no matter where you are, is that you still have your piss. You still have your urine, which is it's cleaner than the water that's coming through your sink. Yeah, Kalo Gregory. Yeah, after it will taste like water, and to the point it becomes almost. People say coconut. I've never experienced coconut, but I've experienced what is soft and fluffy, something, a flavor. But I wouldn't say coconut. It was nice. I preferred it to regular water. Well, thank you, Doug Cheadle. Reza, you on that coconut pee-pee? I haven't consistently, like, since I don't know, maybe the last 3 months. I've consistently been doing like my feasting and going out and doing like stupid things with stupid people and having fun weird times. So I haven't really been going too heavy on the pee-pee. So I'm definitely due for a fast. Yeah, yeah, I'll agree with Stephen Coe here. If you think in the morning your piss, everybody tells people to start with your morning urine. No. If people haven't done urine therapy or in drinking, if they haven't consumed the piss, if you haven't done it before, you're gonna want to water fast for all day. You're gonna at least, juice and then water. By about 3 o'clock, you should probably be pissing out pretty clean piss, like pretty clear, unsalty, unflavored urine. And that's what you want to drink. That way you at least get comfortable with the fact that, oh, this is what it tastes like? That's not so bad. But if you tell somebody right away, drink that first piss of the morning, they're like, oh, this tastes like shit, and this is always going to taste like this. This is fucking retarded. This is nasty. But if you tell somebody, no, just go through the day fast and drink that last piss, then they'll see. And then as you kind of, then you start to go, oh, this is the little, because that's what I ate yesterday. Oh, man, I can taste that. I ate a really spicy Indian food. I had a really salty burrito, blah, blah, blah. Like, you'll taste all of that in there. And it's really funny because it's just kind of a hint. It's kind of like a memory of the salt. It's not actually really salty. It's very interesting. You have like it's a little garlicky. It has a little bit of an aroma, kind of a taste of, but it's not, maybe a little sugary, maybe a little salty, and you're slightly diabetic, or you're slightly, like there'll be a little bit of residual in there. But always start at the end of the day if you've never done it before. What up, Daniel Benson and Ripe Soul? Yeah, Alchem, kombucha and mead, that's what's up. The mead is did you ever watch that video I made a while ago about mead and honey and the witches and why it's called mead, and the media and the meads and the way that the hexes are made within the hive, and why it's called a curse or a hex, from the witches and the witches in the beehive and burning the candle. I don't know. If you all don't know about that, I'm not going to tell you all that story again right now because that's a long one. But go look into my old work. You'll find one on how all that all functions together. It'll be one of the images on there. Will be a big beehive and candles and things, and I get some really deep magic there for you. Yeah, Zach Crony, you said YOLO. Yeah, I'm not sure if to say YOLO. You only live once, forever. Hey, and Al Chem, I know you would do it with me. Dude, so let's start producing these shirts. You want to do the YOLO shirts? Ain't nobody in here has a... Don't steal our idea. I feel like I could... I feel like Al Chem would do this with me. I bonded with that dude. So, I don't know y'all, so don't steal this idea. We want YOLO shirts. That could be fucking excellent. And I got a couple more other ideas that I would share with you, my friend. But not on this public forum. Is that Chrono? That's wicked. If you're serious about this, I sometimes I wonder if y'all like bullshitting a little bit. Come to my Japan situation. I mean, that's real shit. It works. I mean, when you're in that place, I mean, look at the most, look at the magicians that really wrote the books that people go, man, this is the heavy duty good stuff. They'll tell you all about using that and why it's done. That is more powerful than blood over intent magic. Blood over intent doesn't create a child, but a semen will create a child. Remember that. So if you want to really, like, the energy it takes for you to ejaculate is way more energy. It's way more positive. It's way more organized. It's way more everything. If instead of saying I want to produce a child, a baby that's running around from a woman, you put that on to whatever it is, man. I would guarantee you that there are businesses right now on this planet, on this plane, wherever the fuck we live. There are books right now, there are businesses right now that exist because whoever wrote out the plan of business for, say, Nike, or whoever wrote that book that everybody's read and is a #1 on a bestseller, I guarantee they masturbated all over that book or that business plan. I guarantee that. So make you curious, huh? And be like, oh, that's not why that happened. You sure? Nice. See, Tom Corner, that's wicked, man. I like urine after wine is decent because you'll still get a little bit leftover kind of aroma of the wine. And you're doing yourself a double service because now you're rehydrating yourself. You're giving yourself all of the nutrition back in your body, all of the things that the wine was actually releasing in your body that now went through your kidneys and inverted and gave you the solution to everything. It gives you all of the solutions, and you'll be rehydrated in the morning, and you'll have better dreams. And people never tell you about this either, but you're drinking your pee will help you dream better. You'll start to have more vivid, lucid dreams. I tell people on that all the time. Like, you want to start dreaming? Drink your pee. Kombucha and Heineken. So interesting. Rasta food lotion fucked up the dick for years. Yeah, Kia, like Times of Greatness said, just get rid of the, abstain from the meat and even the, and even the plant matter, any of it, really. Like, going to the higher levels, Hilton Otima will tell you, even vegetarians ain't healthy. Even vegetarians don't know what's going on. And I wholeheartedly, fully agree with him. We've done many talks on that. And Damien, join us. Join us. You got poison ivy. Other than urine, Clay, bentonite and clay. That's going to be some of the greatest stuff because that's going to help pull all of that out of you. Clay is going to be the good job. Yeah. Bentonite and or any kind of variety. I mean, shit, you could just go put dirt. If you go out your yard, dig up some dirt. There's going to be clay somewhere in there, depending on where you live, but the dirt, the clay, that'll work. What up, radical thought? Oh, Sassman says what? Cool, wicked, good to see you. Urine is awesome. Like you'll see like all of these little like kind of, for me being an idiot, all these little kind of like where my kind of skin is kind of little, whatever you call them, little wrinkly things. Like once I start putting that urea back on my face and rehydrate myself and stop eating the shit that I do, like this will all get back into quick shape. Like I'll take 5 years off of my the way that I look in a few days. And if you add sunshine to that, man, you'd be good. You can reverse like 3 to 4 years off of your appearance in 5 days, just like that. I mean, because the urea is going to be super hydrating to the skin, and especially if you get real busy. And everybody do this right now. Start storing your urine and aging it. If you haven't already done it, don't wait on it. You should be storing your urine every day. And this is only re-encouragement for me because I got like 5 bottles at the house. Some very old, but you know, get ahead of the game. Start putting your urine in glass bottles now, and putting the cheesecloth or leaving it open slightly so it can breathe, and get your aged urine going, because that aged urine is some of the best stuff, because it's going to become higher pH, ammonia rich, and it's going to do a lot for massaging on the skin, which is going to go directly into the blood, thereby raising. Everybody talks about this pH diet. Fuck your pH diet. Start putting aged urine on your skin, because it's directly giving you that pH. If you take something that has a very alkaline pH, once it goes into the stomach, it's breaking it down to neutralize it. This is what people don't get. I try to explain this to people that are on these kicks about all this, oh, here's what you need to do, and get the pH water. Like, no, once it goes into your stomach, it's neutralizing. Your stomach is to neutralize things. You put something on your skin, it's directly absorbing it. So this urine is going to give you that proper, like, not only is it going to give you the urea from the fresh, like on the face or whatever in the morning, but the aged stuff will give you the ammonia rich content, and it's going to give you the hi puppy, hi baby. It's going to give you the alkaline pH that's going to go directly in the blood to clean the blood in a very, very fast way. And Wayne Johnson, I would believe so. I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you already have Morgellons, if that's a thing and it's already happening, it's already in you. So re-ingesting it's only going to do the job of putting it back out the back door. I can't, I don't know anybody, so I can't say certainly without question. But and again, I've never even met somebody to claim to have had it. I've seen some people online, so I tried to do my little bit of research and give as much information as I could on Morgellons. I did a video on it. You can check it out. But I don't see why it would be a problem if it's already in you. You know what I mean? What's the worst going to happen? You're just going to re-ingest it? I don't know. Yeah, TikTok, the more you drink it, the cleaner it gets. It's just that simple. And it's so interesting. Once you go through one process of it, and they go like, oh no, if you drink your piss, it's going to become more and more dirty. You can only drink it 3 times, and then it will be so dirty you'll die. But then you do it, and the exact opposite happens. As soon as that happens, and you go, even if you believed in the institution of pharmacia, the pharmaceutical companies, as soon as that happens, you go, why are they lying about that? Oh, because it will fix all of your dilemmas. Urine will fix all of that. Like, why do they tell me I'll die if I drink my urine more than 3 times? And then you got people out here like, oh, I drank my urine 40 times in a row, and it got cleaner and cleaner, and I got healthier and healthier. Weird. Oh, 'cause it's free. It's free, that's why. But it will tell you once you it doesn't get dirtier, it will change. It will change the way that you think about it, because you'll go, oh, you'll witness it. You'll be like, oh, I've actually done it, and it will change your physiology. It will change what's going on in your brain, because now all of a sudden you've re-ingested your basically it's a rebooting of your system. It's telling your computer system, like, here's your immune system, and here's everything that's wrong in the body. And then you re-ingest it, and your body's like, okay. As it goes, put it underneath the tongue, put it into the body, and you go, okay, here's all the things I need to start to fix. Here's all of the problems in my system. Radical thought. Yes, mine does. I do get a lot of butter texture and taste to mine, for sure. This is definitely for sure, especially if you have buttery type things. Yeah, for sure. Stephen Coe, once again, water fast is in its class of its own. Water and urine fast are by themselves. They're one thing. That's a true, complete, absolute fast. Once you introduce anything that has any carbohydrates, sugars, etc., teas with sugar in it, juices, whatever, then at that point it's something different completely. So then, you know, the aiding of digestion, what do you need to digest if you're doing a fast? There's nothing you need to digest, there's nothing to add. But from the level of digestion, if you're speaking about in your lower intestines and things, then that's where you're getting into all the enemas and things. So, again, water and urine is on itself, but then once you start adding teas and everything else, yeah, go ahead and add ginger, add all that. It's just a different kind of fast. Ilminsiva, me, nice. Whatever you are, whoever you might be, way to come in the room, never seen you before, and demand people not to drink your urine. You're a genius. You'd be surprised. You'd be the most helped by actually drinking your piss. As they say in England, taking the piss. Yeah, this one really took the piss. Yeah, more like chugging for real. TikTok, exactly. Leveling up out here. Yeah, Tom Corner, especially aged. Did I ever tell? I don't know if you ever listened to any of my earlier videos, specifically on urine. But aged urine, dude. I did this one talk, and it's actually one of my writings on zenalchemist.wordpress. Is specifically because of a week that I did aged urine on my skin while laying in the sun in the middle of July, and I was imaging things out of my pineal gland that actually were ancient alphabets. And one of the images that I saw was go find the article. It's and in fact I actually did a video of me reciting the article, because I was imaging. I never heard of this language before, but I drew it, and somehow I found the picture on the internet, and it's from a language called Passing the River, and the symbol was all about. It was a star. It was the original languages are star languages. So you look up in the night sky and you'd find 3, 4, 5 stars that were in an order, and that would be image to what was an energetic pattern from those planets, from those systems of energy and light that became the letter. So these ancient star languages. So I found one of those while I'm fasting in the urine underneath the sun, kept imaging in my pineal gland, and it was the image of the from the language passing the river, and was such a specific letter that was all about urine and Orion's belts. And how the fuck are you gonna make this shit up? How does that even happen? So yeah, aged urine is the way to go and lay in the sun. It will knock you into another dimension for sure. Doug Cheeto, cool man. That's so awesome to hear. Half pint of piss. You'll feel the change immediately. You become different. You become full of knowledge. That's for sure. You become full of the golden light. You know, Stephen Cole, interesting you asked that. I'm back at 5:30. How far am I behind here? I'm about 10 minutes behind. Stephen Cole, you said, what words should you start with while making a sigil? I will, I want, or start with I. As I've progressed in what it seems to be, you should say I am. I am is the most powerful thing you can say. Why not say that in it? Don't use the terms of it will happen in the future, but have it in terms of it has already happened, it's occurring, it is part of your life. And that will help to staple it into your consciousness. So I would go with that. A lot of people will tell you it will still work. The I will, or I want, or I desire will still work. I would choose between I want, I will, and I desire. I would choose I will over I want. I would choose I desire over I will and I desire are pretty close, but then you could just get into I am, and from there you can figure out what feels comfortable for you. But you want to try to turn it into present moment, so that your image of it is always present, that you're just going to receive that present gift. It's kind of like this. I always say you have to think of these things like Christmas. If you know what you want and you go and buy what you want for Christmas and put it into a box and leave it under the Christmas tree, but you can't have it till Christmas, that's what you're doing. You're like, I have it, but where is it? Well, it's under the Christmas tree. What are you talking about? That's how this whole thing works. You just got to wait for Christmas to get it. And Christmas means the crossing of the Christ, of the Mass. The energy of the Mass is the crossing. The Christing is the chrism, or the crossing over into the mass of being, which is whatever this is. The matter, the mass. So everything becomes Christmas. The present, the pre-sent, it was sent before. Your present is called the gift. The gift is present, presence, right now, the moment. To pre-send yourself something from now into whatever that package is becomes your gift. Yeah, terms of greatness to play stuff, right on. Zet Chrono, I say this thing with the dairy, man. Unpasteurized, and in fact dairy that has been cultured. Now remember, the caveat is this: you don't need anything, but dairy is in fact better than vegetarian diet. I'll straight up say it. That's easy. As long as, and you can't take this without the whole statement. Don't be those people to do that. So whoever's listening to this in the future, waiting for that, being that vegan, waiting for me to say that one wrong thing, and then they just go, oh, you said you should go slaughter cows. No. If you lovingly and cared for and nurtured and were bonded and had a familiar tie with the cow species, and you and the family, your family of humans and family of cows and family of chickens and family of everything, we're sharing and caring and dancing and playing, painting and doing things and petting and rubbing and massaging and enjoying the cow and everything else, then when that milk comes out, that you take it and use it as an offering from your mother, the cow that you have so much thanks for, because the cow is thankful for your petting and you're caring and you're loving and you're nurturing of the cow then nurtures you. You take that milk, unpasteurized, and you either drink it whole or turn it into a cultured thing like butter or cheese. And it becomes a genius idea. Better than even knocking down or killing a plant, because the plant can't reseed itself. But that cow you didn't kill. There's no death in that. Understand this very clearly. There is no death in cow milk. There's no death in it. There is death in eating a fruit, though. The highest level knowledge is you'd be consuming the milk of your mother forever. And if that happens to be your mother that was breastfeeding you, or if it was a cow or the earth mother, you would understand very quickly that you could, if you had a tree and apples on it and you ate that apple with the seeds, there's death there. You take that milk from the cow, that cow still lives. It's only nurturing. It's only nutrition. It's only light. It's only wisdom. It's only love. So anybody out here on this vegan nonsense shit that doesn't hear it out completely, yeah, it's absolutely an atrocity. It's insane that the amount of cows that are held hostage and milked and mutilated and turned, like, that's ridiculous. But culturally, how it was done in the ancient of days in villages, there's not only nothing wrong with it, but there's something to be looked up to and respected and revered, because it's conscious and it's aware and it's part of the energetic system of engaging with your surroundings and realizing that those animals are no different than you. But as soon as you decide that that animal isn't good enough to even feed you, that that cow has pus coming out her tits, but your mother somehow had not pus coming out of her tits, you've become an insane person. And you have no respect for life. And most vegans have no respect for life, because most vegans hate you. They hate me. Vegans hate me because I'm more of a vegan than them. See, this is the thing. The idea of having respect and care and nurturing and guardianship and over these plants and animals and everything, you would never eat the plants, and you definitely wouldn't be so disrespectful to your other human beings to insult them, and you wouldn't be so disrespectful to go and disrespect yourself by eating food that has been plasticized or has been assaulted and been given all of the bullshit in the boxes in the middle of the stores, and to support these organizations that tell you something's vegan so you think it's there and it's good and it's healthy and it's nurturing, because it's none of those things. But I'll stop that rant there. Ilmin said no one will marry you if you're drinking your urine. That's insane. I've had girls that want to marry me because they love the taste of my piss. That's weird. And Jordan, yeah, you can add fresh to aged. It'll help speed up the process of aging it. Yeah, for sure. Drink aged, just bathe in it, but you can drink it in very small quantities, and it'll do quite a number on you. Stephen Co, you don't leave it open. You have to cover it with a cheesecloth. You don't want any bacteria getting in there. You need a clean jar and to cover it. It has to breathe, but you can't let any bacteria in there. It's just like making beer. The same way that you'd make beer is the same way that you'd make aged piss. Yes, Ilmin. See, you can say your opinion, and it is an opinion. It doesn't exist in any form of reality or fact. It's just that it's an opinion, and I would assume you're probably about 12 or 13 years old. So, and if you are older than that, you should probably upgrade the kind of information you're ingesting and reading. And I wouldn't drink ammonia, but again, the aged urine in very small quantities you can talk to Wiley Schmidt about that. You can talk to a few other people about that. I've done it before, and I've had some very, very, very intense out-of-body experiences, lucid dreams. It does a number, for sure. And Bradical thought, I like that. I've always liked that, full of piss and vinegar, because piss and vinegar are quite similar. And when someone's full of piss and vinegar, they're full of life, aren't they? They're all like wild about something. They're all, whoa, right? Piss and vinegar. Because they're both very cleansative and life-inducing agents. Yeah, terms of greatness, again, back to aged urine, after a few weeks, maybe a month, then you can turn the lid on and cap it off tight. But if you do it earlier, the ammonia content will go up because it won't be breathing. And the process of making beer or vinegar or aged urine, they're very similar. One uses anaerobic and one uses aerobic breathing. Anaerobic means to put the top on, aerobic means that's aerobic. So the breathing part allows the ammonia to escape, but if you hold that in, it will cause your urine to be really, really ammonia rich. It has its uses, but it'd be too intense. You want to let it breathe for quite a while first. Right, so yeah, you could do them every day if you wanted, enemas, but you shouldn't need to, but you could. So the only way to get back to who said this? Reza, you said the only way to go back to factory reset is I'm assuming Orin. Here's your reset button. Can y'all read that? Is it? I got reset tattooed there. You can just push the button. Terms of greatness, is Kia top shelf white girl or what? Ricardo Neva, what happens with the DMT? I'm sure quite a bit, because DMT, there's an idea about what's going on within the pineal gland and the different glandular systems in your brain, about being super hyper-structured water. And considering that urine is already structured, hyper-structured, in fact, structured about your human body, that you'd only be encouraging and reinforcing the hyperstructure of your, and I don't want to be like, oh, like excessively more precisely structured water in your brain. It's the same thing that kidneys do. Kidneys structure your water and put them through basically compressing the water so intensely that it folds itself backwards. In essence, this is the idea that I get out of it. And that's what cleans the blood, cleans everything. It pressurizes and doesn't let any, just squeezes out. And it's only left with a mirror image reflection. And so in the pineal gland, the DMT seems to be of the same sort of idea. And whenever if anybody's ever gone into an astral realm, you'll go down to this, you'll go through a tube, and that tube will be spitting those images that look like the black and white images that kind of spin you around and looks like you're in a vortex. That's what you'll be going through in your mind, in your pineal gland, and it seems like your eye of your pineal gland is looking through that water, which is hyperspace. Some weird kind of like, this gets into, I'm kind of going off on a little tangent here, but this is why the Egyptians and the rest of the people that had pyramids would line them up with stars, and then they would lay into the king's chamber, which was literally filled with salt water. They'd lay in there and line themselves with the stars, eat some mushrooms, project through their DMT pineal gland to link up with that star system or that energy body system and go out in through that system. which seems like there's some sort of resonant factor that's occurring between DMT, your pineal gland, and superstructured water. Kia's a brown girl. What's up, Granny? That's so funny. Russian vodka, yeah, the urine chasers for sure. Clean, you know, vodka is called water in Russia for a lot of good reasons. And thinking of like their diet, the climate they're in, what they would eat with the vodka, it's very healthy. I'm a little far behind here, Ilmincia, but urine will fix your eyeballs for sure. What do you think is in eye drops to begin with? Eye drops are made of urea. Urea. This is why you can look at the names of eye drops and look up the ingredients. It's literally urea, which is from your urine, and they collect it from cow's urine most of the time. Yeah, I wouldn't put the salt in your eyes, Ilmincia. You're going to be cutting up and scratching your cornea. It's not a good idea at all. What up, Sean Gobble? Sean Gobble, that's awesome, man. That's so cool that the sun and avoiding surgery, man. That's wicked, man. And obviously alchem salt is not a good idea for your eyes ever. Yeah, Rudolf Steiner is right about that. Milk is the perfect food. But again, we're at a place we can traverse beyond that and get nutrition from self. Reza, that's wicked. I'm back here at 550. Reza, you say you're comparing experience you had with large doses of DMT mushrooms and looping it and saying, yeah, that's cool, man. Aged urine will do a number. You could use a very small amount. You should talk to Wiley Schmidt. He did a video on it. You should just chat at him. And I did a short one on it. I mean, it just obviously there's not much to say other than it became very clear and lucid in my dream, and it was so long I didn't write it down, but it was almost certainly out of body. Doug Cheadle, you said you got tension headaches. There's a lot of ways to fix those. Some things you can do are obviously find yourself a good acupuncturist, but a chiropractor is almost, if you've never been to one, a lot of people that have tension headaches, you can solve that problem just by having your back snapped up the right way, because most people are so misaligned. And if you can't do that, tension headaches, you can help through you'll find spots in the face and the back of the neck, like where your neck connects to your head, and there's 2 spots there that are really good for putting pressure on to relieve tension in the head. It depends on where they are too. And you have these 2 little spots right here, these 2, and you'll feel 2 little balls. They're kind of like directly beneath the tear ducts. There's 2 tiny little balls there. Push those, and that will do a number on helping with tension headaches. Yeah, psychoactive stuff getting looped, and it will actually be cleaner and better. This is why the shamans would pee into a glass and give it to the followers, because the shaman could handle all of the extra poison. They had done a lifetime of doing, you know, the magic and being the shaman claus, the Santa Claus. So they would consume the poison because their body was used to it, because they started in small doses, and they were able to eat a large mushroom, urine out that into a glass, and the followers would only get the condensed, cleansed version. It's kind of like information that people get and they deliver. They say, I don't want you ever to have to go through the troubles that I went through to get this information, so here's the map. And so they map the things out. In essence, it's compressing knowledge. Tom Corner, that's awesome. Yeah. Man, I'm all about that pee life though. That's hilarious. Pee is part of your blood, is part of your tears, is part of your system. That's what you're made of, man. If you ain't about pee, you ain't about blood. If you ain't about blood bonding, you ain't about, like, that's life. Your mother urinated all over you for 9 months. Your mother pissed all over you. She pissed you into existence. Quite literally. You're your mother's urine. Quite literally. And if we look at the urine of the mother, the great black mother, meaning the soul of the earth, the water that is coming up from the earth and through these springs and around, becomes our body. So you either come from the great black mother of the earth or from your mother. Either way, you spend your life as piss and water and urine. Hey, Il Messia, what's your point here? I don't think anybody's upset. Do you have a purpose here? Are you trying to learn, or are you here to interject silly little comments about your opinion, which, you know, that's great. I don't think anybody's upset here with your opinion. It just happens to be like, it's like you walk into the room where you have a bunch of very highly evolved, educated gods speaking, and you say something that is of little to no value that we could help you with. That if you might, you know, take your opinion and like throw it to the side for a second and listen closely, you'd realize why there's you know thousands of people that listen to what I have to say, because they actually do the same thing, and it's improved their life and it's improved mine too. And maybe if you paid attention, you could clean up your eyes and clean up your mind and clean up your vision for your future and have a better life by doing something as simple as dropping your opinion at the door. But if you'd like to have your opinion, have your opinion. Hey, Bradical Thought. There you go. 30 people watching, only 18 likes. Thank you, Bradical Thought. I thought I had trained all of you better than this. Shouldn't there be some sort of, once you come to the room, you give a thumbs up because you know it's going to be fucking excellent? Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. What? I still don't understand what you're talking about. Who got offended? Who disrespected you? I don't know. You walk into the party where everybody's drinking piss, and you tell everybody to stop drinking piss. Ain't nobody offended. Ain't nobody is insulting you. You're the one that's assaulting yourself, literally putting it in your eyeballs. But you're probably, are you a child, or are you paid for? Does somebody pay you to come do these things? Like, are you like a provocateur, or do you just waste your time on things that have nothing to do with you or your life, that you're not really concerned with, and it isn't going, you're not going to convince us otherwise, you're not going to improve our lives by telling us to do things that we've already done that we know are stupid, like put salt in our eyes. We're actually doing things of higher knowledge and higher value. So your purpose here is either just to discredit, disrupt, or destroy the communion that's going on here with me and everybody that's talking. So either you're here to learn, or you're paid for to do this, or just leave. I mean, it's not really like, or you can stick around and talk shit, which is silly, but you know, whatever you like. So did I go too old? Are you not 13? Are you like 12 or 10? Monoatomic stuffs, monoatomic probiotic. The monoatomic probiotic. That's fun to say. Yeah, El Macy, I'm behind on everybody else's by quite a long time, my friend. I stay about 10 to 15 minutes behind because whenever I'm answering somebody, it takes a little while, because I'm thorough in my answers for people. Oh, very funny. Do I take responsibility to what I'm teaching? My ability to respond is apparent. I'm very able to respond. And thank you, TikTok. Everybody is responsible for their own self, and I only help to encourage people and enlighten people on how to do that. If it doesn't improve your life, then move on, find something that does. Radical thought, I love it. We're all piss drinkers. Some of us just don't stop after the first 9 months. I've always been curious as what would a child look like that came out the womb, and what continually happened was they continually cycled the child's urine and only gave it breast milk, and then continued on, like say maybe at the age of like 5, got off the breast milk and was just continually looping, that it never ate actual food. Could you create like the real deal immortal being like that, like straight out the womb? What up, Gary Baxter? It's good to see you around these parts. Gary Baxter, what opinions are like? Opinions are like third eyes. Everybody has one, they just don't know how to use them. Something like that. I don't know, Gary. I don't know what you're talking about. Is it the third eye? Oh no, the brown eye is what you're looking for. Excuse me, Gary. Opinions are like a brown eye. Rising Love, am I near Jackson Square? Yeah, I am near Jackson Square. Not right now. Currently, I'm close. Why are you down here? I go over to Jackson Square often. I have friends that play instruments that are always in Jackson Square, and I also have a lot of people that I know that work around the area. Ooh, in terms of greatness, what do I think about oil being a macro-micro allegory for oils? Yeah, that's absolutely. Again, if we just use the idea that you have there of a car, like an automobile, let's use all the systems in there and see what the oil is in the car. You know, I think there's a very similar situation. Radical thought. Yeah, those church bells are pretty good, huh? Ilmin C, I don't know. I really still don't understand what you're saying. Here's the thing: is you've never been on here before. This is just who I am. How could I be offended by somebody on the other side of a computer system that's just saying ridiculous things that has nothing to do with literally, I don't know, 38 years of my life and about 800 videos that I've made and things that I've, incurred in my life. This is just the way that I am. I'm not offended by you. How could I be? Why would I let? Don't give yourself that much credit. Someone like you can't offend me. You know what I mean? And by someone like you, I mean someone on the other side of a computer screen. Not you. Like, I don't know who you are. For all I know, your computer program talking. Or you're somebody, like I said, it does not offend me. Oh well. I mean, you're new to these things, and if you are actually a human being, this is the only reason that I would continue speaking as if you actually do exist, is that you actually might desire to be educated and learn something and improve your life. And you're not just here to throw a spoke in the wheel of these lessons. But yeah, you've misinterpreted. And I wouldn't have a shot at you. That's ridiculous. And thank you, Rise and Love. Zet Chrono, why are you turning this into some like open chat line for you to get yourself some what do you call it these days? Putang? Is that your word? Some Putinani? I'm gonna try to catch up here. Yeah. Probably got your mouth pissed in before. Katesh, that's hilarious. If you've given someone oral sex, you've probably got your mouth pissed in. This is for sure. And in fact, some people ask for it by name. We're not turning this into another sex talk tonight, though. Last night that was a big one for everybody. Oh man, Gary, you were ill? Did you take a lot out of the pee-pee in? We the people, hilarious. Karani, was my opinion on pubic hair? I mean, take it or leave it. I think that tends to be kind of like fingernails and facial hair and hair in general. I think it's just really like you're given an opportunity to like, how would you like this to look? How can we stylize it? Is there a purpose to it? To a degree, yeah, but like fingernails are a weird one because there seems to be no reason not to cut them, to have really long fingernails, unless of course it's to say, hey, I'm so advanced at this point, I don't even need to pick anything up to eat. So if you're a really advanced, say, magician, it would just be proof that your fingernails are so long, there's nothing I need to do. I need to not even move my hands to eat. If I want something done, I think it and it's done. I don't even have to wipe my ass. Imagine that. And you don't have to wipe your ass either, A, because somebody else is doing it for you, or B, because you don't even have to shit. So I think there might be something there. But as far as like the hair, I think it's more like, longer hair is something. Having this is something. There's some electrical charge and quality to it. But I think it's more, when you're a little bit more advanced, I think it's, stylize yourself the way you want. It's your life. How do you color it, change it, do what you want with it. Yeah, we'll meet in the astral realms soon, Zet Chrono. So I'm a little behind here, y'all. There we go. Okay, hey, look at that. I got to the end here. Bidet is a way to go. Yeah, or use a bidet. Urine definitely can help do gargling and instead of like doing oil pulling, do urine pulling. Dong Cheadle. So funny to say. Dong. That's awesome, Reza. Cool. Well, check it out, y'all. It is like 6:15. This is excellent. This is almost I don't have too much juice back here, and I have to go inside and grab my telephone that I got charging. You all want me to come back out here and continue on? I want to get onto something. I want to get onto a specific subject. If you all want me to. Yeah, I said I'm going to do a bunch today, but I kind of want, I didn't realize I've been on here for like 2 hours, and I kind of want to divide it up so when y'all come to it in the future, I can kind of chop these things up and not just have like a 4-hour, you know, marathon session. Like I did that one night for like 7 hours. I don't know who caught that one. Yeah, I don't know, Granny. I still deal with that myself. In terms of greatness, a clay bath ain't gonna pull out good minerals. I don't believe that to any major degree. You know what I mean? I think you just gotta. It's like when you're cleaning, and then you can always re-add to things later. If you took a little too much out, you can add back to it. You know, it's better to get rid of everything than add to it. You don't clean your house and leave a few things in there. You know what I mean? So, hey, Il Mincia, I will come back here and do one right after this, and I'll devote the whole thing to you. If you have legitimate questions and you really want to know something, feel free. I'll do a whole hour for you. I don't even know you, for free, whatever. That's what you want, sure. But if you're coming with the intention of teaching me something, I'm not. This is a one-way street here. This is a classroom. You listen. You know, you have questions, you ask. I'll answer. But oh, and Alchem, by the way, I redact my earlier email to you. I didn't even realize. The other shit you sent me, even mad more likable. I was much more impressed. I didn't even think I was. That Blue Dream was nice, but that other shit, man, oh man, that's one of the favorite things I've had. Next to like Headband was one of my favorite. Headband was really good, but the other shit was just, it's been magic, man. It's put me in a lot of good places, a lot of good conversation with people, lots of heady good stuff. Usually I don't like heady stuff because I'm already too mentally cool. Alright, so check it out, yo. Radical, man, thank you. I appreciate that. And Gary, I'm gonna come back on here and like nice, Alchem, whatever you say goes. You're the master here. So I'm gonna be back and give me like 15 minutes. I'm gonna go and grab a couple things, and I might even go grab a beer real quick. So give me like 15-20 minutes, and we'll do an all night thing. And for anybody new that's coming to this channel in the future that you've never seen me before, feel free to go beneath and push one of the buttons, and feel free to generously or not so generously provide me with any of the resources that you have available to you via, oh, I don't know, what do we got there? I don't know, PayPal app or whatever. or whatever kind of currency we're using in that day and age, because I'll probably have to link it up to some other kind of digital currency or whatever. But if you would be so kind to give me all of your money. And obviously it'll help me upgrade my system here so I can take you all on larger, more expansive ventures of the mind and what I have available. So yeah, feel free to donate if you can, and if not, cool. Hope you've been having fun on the ride, and we will talk soon. Like 15 minutes for the rest of y'all. Oh, and for all you dummies that are here anyways, you should already know you should be hitting that like button. That thumbs up is always helpful. That way, less of you can give me nickels and dimes, because if I get 1,000 people watching giving me a nickel, that's cool. That's the way y'all don't have to come out the pocket with $2. So just hit the button there.